Imagine living a long, beautiful life, celebrating your 75th birthday with your children, grandchildren, maybe even great-grandchildren around you. You've worked hard, you've built memories, and you deserve to enjoy every single moment of your golden years. But here's a hard truth. After the age of 75, life becomes more fragile. Studies show that nearly 99% of deaths in this age group are linked to just 5 major causes. Yes, 5. That means if you understand these 5 threats, and more importantly, learn how to reduce your risks, you can dramatically improve your chances of not just living longer, but living stronger, healthier, and happier. In this video, we're diving deep into the top 5 causes of death after 75. But don't worry, it's not going to be depressing. In fact, it's going to be inspiring because for each cause, I'll show you simple, practical, and science-backed ways you can fight back and protect yourself or your loved ones. So, grab a notebook, maybe even share this video with someone you care about, because what you're about to hear could literally add years of health to your life. Cause number 1, heart disease, the silent killer. Presenter tone, warm, engaging. When most people think about aging, they imagine gray hair, wrinkles, maybe slower movement. But inside the body, one of the biggest changes happens in the heart and blood vessels. After 75, your heart has already pumped billions of times. Your arteries may have stiffened, tiny blockages may have formed, and if blood pressure and cholesterol weren't kept in check, your risk of heart disease skyrockets. In fact, heart disease remains the number 1 cause of death worldwide, and seniors are the most vulnerable. But here's the amazing part. Many cardiologists say that nearly 80% of heart disease is preventable with lifestyle changes. Light bulb storytelling segment. Let me tell you a quick story. I once read about a man named Frank who turned 80 years old but was still jogging every morning. People in his neighborhood would often stop him and ask, "What's your secret?" His answer was simple. "I treat my heart like it's my best friend. I give it good food, I don't overwork it, and I never let it sit idle." Frank wasn't just lucky, he was living proof of something science shows us again and again. The choices we make daily, what we eat, how we move, how we manage stress, matter more than our genetics in determining heart health. DNA why heart disease happens after 75. Now, let's get a little deeper into the science, but don't worry, I'll keep it simple. There are a few major reasons why seniors over 75 face high risks of heart disease. Arterial plaque buildup. Over decades, cholesterol, fats, and calcium form sticky deposits inside the arteries. This narrows the blood flow and can cause heart attacks. High blood pressure. Aging arteries lose flexibility, so the heart must pump harder. That constant strain can lead to damage. Weaker heart muscles. Like any other muscle, the heart can weaken over time, especially without regular exercise. Diabetes. Many seniors develop type 2 diabetes, which damages blood vessels and raises risk. Lifestyle factors. Diets heavy in processed foods, smoking, stress, and inactivity all add fuel to the fire. Broccoli prevention tips. How to protect your heart. Now the most important part, what can you actually do? The good news is, it's never too late. Even if you're over 75, making small changes can bring huge benefits. Here are the key prevention strategies. Eat heart-healthy foods. Focus on a Mediterranean diet. Lots of vegetables, fruits, nuts, whole grains, olive oil, and lean proteins like fish. Limit processed foods, sugar, and red meat. Move daily. You don't need a gym membership. Walking, swimming, light yoga, or even dancing can keep the heart strong. Aim for at least 30 minutes of gentle activity most days. Manage stress. Chronic stress is a silent killer. Deep breathing, meditation, prayer, or simply enjoying hobbies can lower stress hormones. Check blood pressure and cholesterol. Regular doctor visits are crucial. Keeping these numbers in control can prevent sudden heart attacks. quit smoking. If you haven't already, even quitting late in life adds years of health. Your body starts repairing itself almost immediately after you stop. Bar chart engagement question. So, let me ask you, what's one thing you do daily to take care of your heart? Is it walking? Eating healthy? Maybe practicing yoga? Share it in the comments below, because your tips could inspire someone else. Clapperboard transition to next cause. We just cover heart disease, the number one cause. But coming up next is another massive threat. One that strikes fear in almost everyone, cancer. And the surprising truth is, many types of cancer are preventable too. Let's talk about that. Clapperboard cause number 2, cancer, the shadow that grows with age. Presenter tone, serious but hopeful. All right, now let's move to the second big cause of death after 75, cancer. When people hear the word cancer, fear immediately kicks in, and that's understandable. Cancer has been one of the most dreaded diseases for decades. But here's the truth that many people don't realize. While age increases cancer risk, early detection and healthy lifestyle choices can massively reduce your chances of both developing and dying from cancer. DNA why cancer risk increases after 75. So, why does cancer become more common as we get older? Well, think about it like this. Your body is made of trillions of cells. Every day, millions of these cells divide, repair, and replace themselves. Most of the time, the system works perfectly. But as we age, errors begin to creep in. DNA damage builds up over time, kind of like wear and tear on an old car. Here are the main reasons. Cellular aging. With age, cells accumulate damage from things like toxins, radiation, and even normal metabolism. Weakened immune system. After 75, the immune system becomes less efficient at spotting and killing abnormal cells. Lifestyle habits. Decades of smoking, poor diet, or alcohol use may catch up in later years. Delayed detection. Sometimes cancers are not noticed until they're advanced, especially if regular screenings aren't done. The most common cancers after age 75 include lung, colorectal, prostate in men, breast in women, and pancreatic cancer. Light bulb storytelling segment. I'll share another story here. There was an elderly woman named Margaret. She was 79 when doctors found early-stage colon cancer during a routine screening. She had no symptoms at all. She felt perfectly fine. But because it was caught early, surgery removed it completely, and she went on to live many more healthy years, enjoying her grandkids. Her story is powerful because it shows one thing. Screening saves lives. Most people fear screenings, thinking, what if they find something? But the truth is, not knowing is far more dangerous. Finding cancer early often means curing it. Broccoli prevention tips. How to reduce cancer risk. Now, what can you do to protect yourself? Here are some practical steps backed by science. Don't smoke and avoid secondhand smoke. Smoking is still the number one preventable cause of cancer, especially lung cancer. Even quitting late in life has benefits. Limit alcohol. Alcohol increases the risk of several cancers. Try to keep it minimal, ideally just a glass of wine occasionally, if at all. Eat an anti-cancer diet. Think of colorful foods, berries, broccoli, spinach, tomatoes, garlic, nuts, and green tea. These are packed with antioxidants that fight DNA damage. Stay physically active. Movement boosts immunity and helps maintain a healthy weight, lowering cancer risk. Get regular screenings, colonoscopies, mammograms, prostate checks, skin checks. These are life-saving tools, especially after 75. Protect your skin. Even seniors can get skin cancer. Don't skip sunscreen if you're outdoors. And perhaps the most important, listen to your body. If you notice unusual weight loss, unexplained pain, lumps, or changes in digestion, don't ignore them. Get checked. bar chart engagement question. Here's a question for you. If you had to choose one healthy habit to lower your cancer risk, what would it be? Eating more greens? Exercising? Cutting down on alcohol? Comment below. I'd love to see your thoughts. Brain mindset shift. And here's something else to remember. Having a family history of cancer doesn't mean you're doomed. Genetics are just one part of the story. In fact, doctors estimate that lifestyle and environment account for up to 70% of cancer cases. That means your choices matter more than your DNA. Clapperboard transition to next cause. So we've covered heart disease and cancer, the two giants that claim the most lives after 75. But there's another cause that's often underestimated, one that literally makes it hard to breathe, and that is chronic respiratory disease. Let's dive into that next. Wind face cause number 3, chronic respiratory diseases, when every breath counts. Presenter tone, empathetic, calm. Now let's talk about the third major cause of death after 75, chronic respiratory diseases. Have you ever seen someone struggling just to catch their breath? It's one of the hardest things to watch, and even harder to live through. Conditions like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, emphysema, and chronic bronchitis are extremely common among seniors, especially those with a history of smoking or long-term exposure to air pollution. Breathing is something we take for granted until it becomes difficult. And by the time most seniors realize their lungs are in trouble, the damage is already advanced. DNA why respiratory disease is so dangerous after 75. Here's why breathing problems become so serious in older adults. Weakened lung tissue. Over time, the tiny air sacs in your lungs lose elasticity. This makes it harder to inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Reduce immune defense. Seniors are more vulnerable to infections like pneumonia, which can be deadly. Smoking legacy. Even if someone quit years ago, decades of smoking may have already caused long-term scarring. Environmental exposure. Years of inhaling dust, chemicals, or polluted city air take their toll. Complications with other illnesses. Respiratory problems often worsen heart disease, diabetes, and even kidney disease. In fact, COPD alone is one of the leading causes of hospitalization for people over 75. Light bulb storytelling segment. Let me share an example. There was a man named Joseph, 82 years old, who used to be a heavy smoker in his younger years. He quit smoking at 55, thinking he had escaped the worst of it. But in his late 70s, he developed COPD. Suddenly, everyday activities, walking to the mailbox, climbing a few stairs, felt like climbing a mountain. But here's the inspiring part. Joseph joined a pulmonary rehabilitation program. With supervised breathing exercises, light physical training, and lifestyle changes, he regained enough strength to go on short hikes with his grandchildren. He wasn't cured, but his quality of life improved dramatically. Seedling prevention tips. How to protect your lungs. Now, what can you do to keep your lungs strong after 75? Here are some key steps. Avoid smoking completely. If you smoke, quit today. If you don't, avoid secondhand smoke. Even occasional smoking damages lungs. Stay active. Movement keeps your lungs working efficiently. Gentle activities like walking, tai chi, or yoga improve lung capacity. Practice breathing exercises. Techniques like pursed lip breathing or belly breathing can strengthen your respiratory muscles. Keep vaccinations updated. Flu shots and pneumonia vaccines are especially important for seniors with weak lungs. Improve indoor air quality. Use air purifiers, avoid strong chemicals, and make sure your living space has good ventilation. Eat lung-friendly foods. Omega-3 rich fish, green leafy vegetables, and antioxidant-rich fruits can help reduce inflammation. And here's a bonus tip. Singing, believe it or not, singing is actually a form of breathing exercise. Some lung specialists recommend it because it strengthens respiratory muscles and improves oxygen intake. Bar chart engagement question. Let's make this interactive. If you had to pick one activity for lung health, walking, yoga, or breathing exercises, what would you choose? Drop your answer in the comments and let's see which one wins. Brain mindset shift. Now, some people believe it's too late to improve their lungs once they've reached old age, but studies prove otherwise. Even at 75 or 80, starting healthy habits can slow down lung decline and improve energy. It's never too late to take a deep, healthy breath. Clapperboard transition to next cause. So, we've talked about the heart, we've talked about cancer, and now the lungs. But the next cause of death after 75 is especially frightening because it affects not just the body, but also the mind. Let's explore stroke and neurological diseases. Brain cause number 4, stroke and neurological diseases. Protecting the brain after 75. Presenter tone, serious, thoughtful, encouraging. So far, we've talked about the heart, cancer, and the lungs. But now we need to talk about the most complex organ in the human body, the brain. After the age of 75, the risk of neurological problems like stroke, Alzheimer's disease, and other forms of dementia rises sharply. And unlike some illnesses, these don't just affect the body. They can completely change personality, memory, independence, and quality of life. High voltage stroke, the sudden attack. A stroke is sometimes called a brain attack. It happens when blood flow to the brain is blocked, either by a clot or by a burst blood vessel. When brain cells are starved of oxygen, they start dying within minutes. That's why stroke is one of the leading causes of death and disability in people over 75. Common signs include sudden weakness on one side of the body, difficulty speaking, blurred vision, or dizziness. Doctors say, time is brain. The faster you get help, the better the chances of recovery. DNA Alzheimer's and dementia, the silent thieves. Now, let's talk about something even more personal, Alzheimer's and dementia. Unlike stroke, which hits suddenly, dementia develops slowly over time. It starts with small things, forgetting names, misplacing objects. But eventually, it can erase entire memories, the ability to recognize loved ones, and even basic skills like eating or dressing. Globally, over 55 million people are living with dementia, and the risk skyrockets after 75. Storytelling segment. I'll share a moving story here. There was a woman named Grace, a retired school teacher, who developed Alzheimer's in her late 70s. At first, she forgot small details, like where she left her keys. But over the years, she forgot her students, her neighbors, and even her husband. But here's the inspiring part. Her family surrounded her with love, kept her mentally stimulated through music and storytelling, and made sure she stayed socially engaged. She may have lost her memories, but she never lost the warmth of human connection. Person walking cause number 5, accidents and falls, the hidden danger. Presenter tone, gentle, cautionary, encouraging. We've talked about the big diseases, heart disease, cancer, respiratory illnesses, and brain conditions. But now let's talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention, accidents and falls. You might be thinking, really? Falls? But here's the shocking truth. After the age of 75, falls are one of the leading causes of injury-related death. Why? Because a simple fall at that age is not simple at all. A broken hip, for example, can trigger a chain reaction, surgery, bed rest, infections, loss of mobility, that can quickly become life-threatening. In fact, studies show that nearly 1 in 3 seniors over 75 fall every year, and many never fully recover. DNA, why falls are so dangerous after 75. Here's why falls are such a huge threat. Bone fragility. Conditions like osteoporosis make bones weak and brittle. So even a minor fall can cause fractures, weaker muscles, and balance. Age-related muscle loss makes it harder to stay stable. Vision and hearing decline. Poor eyesight or inner ear problems increase fall risk. Medication side effects. Some prescriptions cause dizziness or drowsiness. Environmental hazards. Loose rugs, poor lighting, or clutter at home can all become dangerous. And the biggest problem? Many seniors don't tell their doctor about small falls until a big one happens. Light bulb storytelling segment. Let me share a real example. Eleanor was 78 when she tripped over a rug in her living room. She broke her hip and spent weeks in the hospital. The physical injury healed, but the psychological damage was harder. She lost confidence in walking, avoided going outside, and became socially isolated. But with physical therapy, home modifications, and family support, Eleanor slowly regained her strength. She even joined a local senior fitness group, where she not only built muscles but also made friends. Her story shows two things. Prevention is key and recovery is possible. Broccoli prevention tips. Staying steady and safe. So how can you prevent falls and accidents after 75? Here are some powerful steps. Strength and balance exercises. Simple routines like leg lifts, tai chi, or yoga improve balance and muscle strength. Check vision and hearing regularly. Glasses and hearing aids make a big difference. Make home safer. Remove clutter, add grab bars in bathrooms. Install better lighting and secure loose rugs. Wear proper shoes. Supportive, non-slip footwear can prevent many falls. Use assisted devices if needed. Canes, walkers, or railings are not signs of weakness. They're tools of independence. Bone health, calcium, vitamin D, and weight-bearing exercise strengthen bones. And here's a tip many people don't think of. Practice fall drills. Just like kids practice fire drills, seniors can practice how to get up safely after a fall. This builds confidence and reduces panic if it ever happens. Bar chart engagement question. Here's a question for you. What's one safety improvement you'd recommend for seniors at home? Is it better lighting, grab bars in the bathroom, or maybe a daily exercise routine? Share in the comments. It might save someone's life. Glowing star conclusion, bringing it all together. Presenter tone, uplifting, motivating. So there you have it. The top 5 causes of death after 75. Heart disease, cancer, respiratory illnesses, stroke and neurological diseases, accidents and falls. Yes, these are serious threats. But here's the truth I want you to remember. Aging is not just about decline. It's about choices. You may not be able to control your age, but you can control your lifestyle, your habits, and your mindset. Every walk you take strengthens your heart. Every plate of fruits and vegetables protects against cancer. Every breathing exercise nourishes your lungs. Every puzzle or book builds your brain. Every safety measure at home prevents falls. These small, daily actions add up. They don't just add years to your life. They add life to your years. Red Heart, final motivation. Think about this. Some people spend their last decade in decline, while others stay active, vibrant, and full of energy. The difference isn't luck, it's preparation. So, whether you're already over 75 or you're planning ahead for the future, remember, it's never too late to start living healthier. Your body is resilient, your mind is powerful, and your future is still yours to shape. Loudspeaker call to action. If you found this video valuable, please give a like. It helps spread this message to more people who need it. Hit subscribe for more health and longevity tips. And most importantly, share this video with your parents, grandparents, or anyone you love, because knowledge is the best gift you can give. Stay healthy, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.